Okay, I am doing my Raspberry Trellis 2.0. The first one I did, if you watched that, I think I was going to delete from my channel or just learn from my mistakes on that because it only lasted a year or two. So I'm doing it the right way this time. So ignore that one or learn from my mistakes. This is what I'm doing now. I bought a couple of 4x4s, pressure treated. I borrowed a post hole digger and a pry, big long metal pry to break up the dirt and the rocks and stuff in the hole to help building the whole post holes. And then I am trying this. I got it from Lowe's. I think you can get it from Home Depot also. It is a replacement for cement. It is supposed to be just as strong as two 50-pound bags of cement. And I don't have any problem using it for this because it's just holding up raspberries. I wouldn't recommend you use this for a fence or something to hold up something heavier like a gate, but for mailbox maybe, or a trellis that's not holding up too much weight, I think this will do the job. I just made a grape trellis. I'll show you that right here. There's my grape trellis. I used that with some hog wire connecting it in the middle, and I just used that cement foam is what I'm calling it, and I'm pushing this pretty hard and it's not moving. So there's videos on how to use that, instructions, so I won't show you how to do all that. But I guess I can show you real fast. I dug my 2 holes, decided how long I wanted it to be. I dug my 2 post holes. I put this first lower one in, and then I used I stapled string to the top of it, and started doing construction next door, and I used one of these on the string to bring it across the other side and leveled it so I knew where to cut this 4x4 because this is higher up. This is over here, it's higher than down there, so I had to cut it. I dug the holes about 8 to 10 inches in diameter and about 32 to 36 inches deep. So the foam, cement foam, it didn't fill up all the way. It filled up maybe halfway, so I filled the rest with dirt. So I kept a hold of the dirt to fill in the rest of it. So I will give you the progress as I go along. Okay, I am ready to use the concrete foam. It's not called concrete foam, it's Sika Post Fix Pro Select, but I call it concrete foam because it looks like foam. It's strong like concrete, and I have this to measure how far I want it 2 feet from the house, so I'm using that, very official. I have the brackets here holding it in place. I used the level to ensure it is all level and where I want it to be and the height and everything, and then I will do the foam. And like I said, I'll link some other videos to help you know how to do the foam. It's pretty easy. Okay, I just put in the seafoam mix. Not sure if you can see that very well, but it's growing slowly. Yeah, you mix it for 15 seconds and then you pour it in, then you have 10 seconds to make sure it's level how you want it to be. So did that, and then you just don't touch it for 3 minutes, and then it takes 2 hours for it to cure. So just don't touch it. Make sure it's level. You have 10 seconds to make sure it's level, and then you kind of wait and make sure it grows as it should for a couple minutes, and then I give it at least 2 hours, maybe just overnight just to be safe, until I take off these brackets and fill in the rest in with dirt. But, so you can see it's starting to come up. You have to be careful. This will stain on cement. I learned that the hard way. I stepped in it on accident and then walked on the cement, and that's not fun to clean that up. So just another pro tip. by digging the holes, I had to move this mulch out of the way. Not this one. This is the extra mulch on the other side of our house. But had to move the mulch out of the way, and then just by working on it, I compacted the mulch, and then I kind of ran out of mulch. I wasn't able to cover up the dirt again. So whenever you get mulch, just make a big pile of it on the side of your house like this. This is smaller than it used to be, but just throughout the years, since we got it about 2 years ago, we've just been finding other places to put it, fill in the holes, and now I need to fill in some gaps where I lost some mulch by digging the holes, and I have some mulch here already. Okay, here's the bottom of the 2 crossbars. I marked the center, and I also marked where I wanted it to be, about 2 feet 3 inches up above, and I marked the center back here, so I lined up the lines back there. I also marked the center of the 4x4 and lined it up there, and then put in the 1 screw and use the level to line it up. So these are the cross brackets to hold up the wire going across, and I cut them, and I was like, wow, I did a really bad job cutting them to be the same. Like, this one's way longer than the top one. Oh, it's like one of those optical illusion things. Have you seen that before? Oh, now the bottom one's longer. Okay, here is the final product. I used green wiring, just because maybe it looks nicer. Maybe the green, there's wire on the inside of this plastic green thing, the plastic that makes it, maybe it's softer onto the plants, I don't know. But you can use the metal wiring also, I'm sure is fine. Came back, had the hooks like that, wrap the wire around the hooks. I cut these at an angle because I thought they would look nicer like that. Put 4 screws in there. I will give some of the specs of the height and everything here also. I think it looks nice, and it'll do the job too. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Here are the specs. This is how tall this one is. Almost 5 feet tall. First one is about 27 inches high from the middle, from the wire. If you notice on here, it goes up a little bit. So I would have done it about 2 feet high for the first one, but then that wouldn't have been very high over here for this one because it's slanted. So I kind of raised it, made this one higher. As you can see, the first one is higher up over here, right? So I probably would do it lower than this if there wasn't a slant. This next one is about 51 inches high. Okay. The length of this is about 21 inches long. The length between the two is about 17 inches. Okay, that's about 1 or 2 rows of raspberries. Okay, the length for this one is about 27 inches. The length between the wire is about 23 inches. Over here, let's see how high this one is. Ended up being about almost 4 feet, so that's a big difference in the height. I didn't realize that. This one is about 19 inches high. The next one is about 40 inches high, and then the length should be the same here for how long it is. So I think those are all the specs that you might be interested in having and knowing. So let me know if you have any questions on the process or any of this. It was a fun little project to do.